actually before we came back from the first trip, people already asked, oh, when's the next trip and all that.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Right View Show again. And this episode we are so lucky and fortunate to have with us Sherwin Ng, who is a metaphysics trainer and teacher and who have been sharing this knowledge about metaphysics and spiritual sciences over the past decade. He has even brought his students to a lot of energy spots in the world. One of them is in England, which is places like Glastonbury, and just recently came back from Egypt. And there'll be more places that he is going to cover with his students. But today, we are going to learn more about how he ventured into this spiritual learning and teaching, and how he, as a child, also realized that this is the path that he wants to take. So Sherwin, welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Hey, how are you?
Good.
Yeah. So you have been bringing students all over the world, to a few energy spots,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. Tell us, Sherwin, how did all these things start? Did you know from a very young age that you're going to do things like this?
Well, I just remember that when I was very young, and I wrote this in my book as well, I actually asked my parents to send me to a temple because all I wanted to become was like a monk. Of course, they were horrified when I requested that. And even I remember in Standard 1 in school, when you have to write what is your occupation or ambition, I even wrote like, saya mau menjadi Sami. So the teacher was also horrified.
Okay. The monks that you're talking about are Buddhist monks?
At that time, the only type I understood was like a Buddhist monk, so I thought it was a Buddhist temple and all that. But later on, I realized there were many other variations, and the definition started to expand as well.
So when did you really realize that? Was it in primary school when you were in like 10, 12?
Actually, it was before primary school. So after I started primary school, like 7, 8, 9, it started to dwindle off. I kind of forgot about it. So like it felt like went into a totally different life that it felt like wasn't me. So my schooling days were weird. Yes, it's not something I really enjoyed.
Okay, explain weird, because maybe some of the kids, while we were growing up, we also experienced things. So explain what means weird.
I always say that my school days is my least favorite time of my life because it was always regimented. You have rules. You have to wake up at what time and go to school at what time. And then when you're in school, you can only you do everything very specific and very regimented. So it felt very stuck. So in fact, when I reached like 13, 14 years old in secondary school, it was quite depressing.
I see. So tell me, you also told your students and most of your friends to say that you have started reading astrology when you were 14? 14 is like from 2, right?
My first astrology book was actually about 8 years old. But around 14, 15 in secondary school, I actually started really looking at charts and learn how to read charts, and eventually also gave like a few readings for my friends.
I see. So were those readings accurate? For the friends, of course they were amazed. A person like 14 years old can read my life.
Of course, it's a very basic reading, so it's more like personality, strengths and weaknesses, what you like, what you secretly like, and things like that.
I see. So this kind of experience, even from a young age, leads you to what you want to do now?
Definitely.
How so?
Definitely.
Does it mean that every one of us has such a path to bring us towards our light?
Well, I would say I'm just very, very grateful that in today's day and age, there's so many options of like career choices, things you want to do, different types of work, so we can choose different unique things that we want to do. Maybe 30 years ago or 50 years ago, there weren't so many options. So,
Okay. So that means you finished your education?
Yes.
Primary, secondary?
Yeah, I even did Form 6.
I did Form 6?
Yeah.
And then you told your parents what?
After Form 6, something wonderful happened for me. I found out that in Tar College, they actually have this psychology diploma. Yeah, it's called like counseling and applied psychology. So I enrolled for that, and I would say that changed my life.
You enrolled for applied psychology.
Yeah.
I see. And that how that changed you from what you learned from books?
Learning psychology,
Yes.
it felt like a breath of fresh air. Suddenly, life made sense. Suddenly, this world made sense. Suddenly, people made sense. Yeah. So,
Okay, how so? Explain.
yeah, so
You say
psychology
makes
is
sense,
like
right? Yeah.
learning about people's minds, how people function, what is their motivation, and why people do every single thing. So behavioral psychology, or even abnormal psychology, and it really gave an understanding of so many complex layers of the human personality, and also learning about the unconscious mind. That was awesome.
I see. So that was when you heard of the name like Carl Jung.
Oh yeah, Carl
Right.
Jung, Sigmund Freud, and all
Sigmund
that.
Freud,
So
wow.
at that time, those were my idols.
I see. So how did you go on researching more? And then what happened now that you are sharing even ideas like this?
Yeah, so that was a very important part of my life journey, I would say. So psychology is a big like awakening or wake-up call. So understanding about human personality, and that's eventually led me to metaphysics.
I see.
Learning about people's charts, how the time of birth and the place of birth affects certain things in the personality. Yeah.
Okay, so from this knowledge that you had during your time in Tar College, when you're reading this, and when you left college, so what did you do that really, given you more opportunity to explore?
Yes. Okay. So this was, I believe, 2003. So I just finished the diploma, and so I was waiting a few more months to actually transfer to Australia to further my masters in psychology. So I had about 6-7 months, and so something happened in that time. So I actually wanted to learn Chinese metaphysics, starting with feng shui. So I Googled online and I found this place, Joey Yap's Mastery Academy. So I thought, okay, I'll just learn an extra subject. So I enrolled for the course. It was like 4 days, used up all my money. And by the end of that 4 days, I decided that I would drop psychology and focus on this. So even like all the incoming scholarships that I had to study in Australia, so I actually forego all of those, and it just changed. So kind of like unexpected plot twist like that. So I started studying more in feng shui, Chinese metaphysics, and that became my next career.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
But didn't anyone in your family, like your parents, your uncle, aunties, ever say anything to you like, what are you doing, so young and dropping all these subjects?
Yeah, thankfully my parents, they always encourage me to do whatever makes you happy. If you feel like everything is worth giving a try. So for them, they didn't have any much. Maybe they were worried inside, but they didn't say. But many other relatives, actually, they had a lot of things to say, especially the older people and uncles and aunties, and yeah, they found it very weird, very extremely unconventional.
Oh, yeah, I see. So is it your luck or your fate that you meet your parents who are so open-minded, or no, is it by chance that you have parents? Because many people will tell, oh no, my parents won't allow me to do that, they must get me to do this and that.
So to answer this is a very deep topic, and it is also mentioned in my book. And many people may not like to hear this, but before we came into this world,
yes,
our soul actually chose the parents that we needed in order to learn specific lessons in this lifetime.
I see. Wow,
Yeah.
that is a very big topic.
I know, it's a
but
huge
then we are
thing.
going to go to episode 2, where we are going to talk more about this, because that's what I learned also from your book, Life on Earth Mastery.
Yeah.
Protocols to Transcend Fate and Manifest Your Purpose. You can get this book from www.houseofkite.com. And this is what Dato' Joey Yap said about Sherwin. If you want to attend his classes, he says that on that note, a great way to start this process is by connecting with the Divine Spirit through Sherwin Ng. It's written here, not my words. Okay, so thank you, Sherwin, for this episode. So do follow through with the next few episodes that we're going to talk to Sherwin, so more insights.